Welcome to the Transitional Movement Assessment. As always, my name is David Saldivar, your corrective exercise coach. And before we begin this next assessment, if you have not already, please make sure you complete the static posture assessment first, and then come on back, because these assessments essentially stack upon each other. All right? So allow me to explain this next assessment. Ideally, what we're doing here is we're going to perform a series of movements to test your 7 human movement shapes. So the movement assessment will require a little bit of work. So make sure you put on some comfortable fitting clothes and grab some water. Find a flat surface in an area that you can perform these undistracted. And again, you're going to need a camera to record and perhaps another device to review the demonstrations and perform them along with me. Or you can download the form, the file below, and print it off, review that, use one device, that's all you have, to record while you review the downloaded printed off form. And then at the end, of course, the final video will go over the assessments together, and I'll show you what it is that you're looking for so that you can determine the exact faults that you are guilty of, and then you can take that and choose the perfect program to begin restoring how your body moves, feels, performs in all things life, reducing pain, preventing injury, and optimizing your performance. So I'm very excited. Without further ado, let's begin the transitional movement assessment. I almost forgot, one item that you will need to perform the transitional movement assessment is a staff of some sort, whether that is a broom handle without the broom end, a pull stick, a bow staff, something that's about arm's length apart, PVC pipe, and once you have that, you can begin the transitional movement assessment. For this first transitional movement assessment, the overhead squat, please make sure that we can see the toes and the hands throughout the entire movement. This is an overhead squat. Keep the elbows locked, bringing the bar over the head, pulling it till you feel that first point of restriction. Perform 20 squats, 5 in each direction, facing the camera, a lateral angle from the left and the right, and then a posterior view, focusing on a 4-second negative, which is the stand to the bottom of the squat. Hold for 2 seconds, quickly stand. One. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Making sure you bring in the hips to knee level. 3. If you're having a hard time, you can place a book under your heels. 4. And 5. Keeping the arms overhead, turning to one side. Repeat the process. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. A posterior angle view. 5 more. Stay strong. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Final lateral view. Again, making sure you can see the hands and the feet throughout the entire movement. 1. 2, 3, almost there, 4, and 5. And that concludes the overhead squat transitional assessment. Lying arm overhead assessment. Lying face down, arms extended, head to the ground, elbows locked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that concludes the lying arm overhead archetype assessment. The next is the lying press assessment. Lying face down, you record from both lateral views. Head down, fist to chest level. You'll pull the fist up off the ground as high as you can, hold for 2 seconds, and then repeat for 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the opposite side. 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that concludes the lying press archetype assessment. The next is the lying hang archetype or high pull archetype assessment. Bringing the arms down to that first point of restriction, hold for 2, back up. 1, 2. We'll repeat this for 10 reps. 3, making sure you start with your elbows at about chest level. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And of course, switch sides. Starting with the elbows at about chest level. 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now that concludes the hang or high pull archetype assessment. This next is called the single-legged squat assessment. If you cannot perform the single-legged squat, I will provide a modified version after this demonstration. Single-legged squat assessment, one leg up off the ground, standing on the other, hands on your hips, bringing your hips to depth, hold for 2 seconds, 4-second negative, standing, repeating that for 10 left and then 10 right. 1, 2, don't forget your pause at the end. 3, 4, good lockout. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Opposite leg. One leg up, standing on the opposite, hands on your hips. 4-second negative. Hold for 2 seconds. Repeat for 10 reps. 1, 2. Good lockout at the top. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We will turn to one angle, standing on the outside leg. Lateral view, 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, doing great. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Facing the opposite lateral view. Outside leg. You'll be standing on, opposite off the ground. 10 reps. 1, 2. Keep it up. Don't rush it. 3, 4. Good job. 5 more. 6, 7, 8. You got this. Come on, guys. Come on. You can do it. 9 and 10. Finally, the posterior view. Alternating, starting with the opposite leg that you just worked on. Important that we can see the ankles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Switch sides. Last set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, the split single-legged squat. If you cannot perform the single-legged squat with good balance, perform this one as your modified option. One leg in front, one leg in back. On the ball of the back foot, I'll perform 10 reps, each leg, each direction. Making sure we can see the feet for the entire movement. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay at my pace. 5, 6. Do your best. No goofing off. All right. All right. 7, 9, and 10. Switching sides. 10 on the opposite. 1 foot forward, 1 foot and back on the ball of the back foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I might even go and hide in the corner so you can't see me and watch you. Lateral view, outside leg forward. 10 reps. 1, 2, good control. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Opposite lateral view. Leg closest to the camera. Forward. Opposite leg and back on the ball of the foot. Good control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Opposite leg posterior view. 1, 2, 3. Keep it up. Almost done. 4, 5. Good control. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Opposite leg forward. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that concludes the split squat and the single-legged squat archetype assessment. The next squat assessment. From each angle, hands out in front, you perform 5 squats with no weight, 4-second negative, pause at the bottom, quick stand. 1, 2, stay with me. 3, 4, 5, turning for a lateral view. 1, 2, doing great. 3, make sure you bring your hips to your knees. If you cannot, elevate your heels with the book. 4, 5. Posterior angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Final angle. 1, 2, 3. Watch out for cars, Kai. 4, 5. And that concludes the squat transitional movement assessment. The next is the hip hinge assessment. From a lateral view, simply maintain a flat back as best you can, hinging to a 90-degree angle. Hold for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and on the hinge, we're simply looking for the first point of restriction where the hamstrings, you feel them get tight. 3, keeping the knees slightly bent. 4, and 5. Opposite lateral view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perform 5 at each angle, simply performing lateral views only, and that completes the hinge archetype assessment. Now this next movement is the pistol squat archetype. Now this one is not required for the assessment, but you can attempt this if you feel good with every other movement we performed and see if you can perform this a few times. Simply one leg off the ground, hands out in front, bringing the hips to knee level. 1, not letting this leg touch. I'll do one more. 2, 3, opposite leg. 1, 2, and 3. And that is the pistol squat archetype. Next is the Davies test. Now this one, you can place a couple markers, tape, quarters, whatever it is, just outside the shoulder width, about 32 inches apart, and you'll perform this test for 15 seconds on, 15-second rest for 3 total rounds. And you're going to want about a 45-degree angle, camera sitting above the body so that it can view downwards, trying to catch the hips, shoulders, scaps throughout this test. I don't have my timer, so I'm just going to do about 15 or so reps in total, assuming that's about 1 per second for a total of 3 sets. So one angle, another angle, then a final angle. You can stay at one angle, that's fine for all 3 sets. So ideally we're just looking at the hips as well as the scaps to see what's going on there. All right, here we go. I just know where about my hands should be, so I'll go ahead and begin, starting with my hands outside the shoulder width, feet together, and begin. Bringing the hands to the opposite hand, just tapping for 15 seconds. I'll say that's about 15 seconds. I'll rest for a few seconds. And I'll perform this angle. 15 reps. Hands outside the shoulder width. Feet together. Here we go. I'm assuming that's 15 seconds. Perform one final set. Here we go. Begin. And I'm assuming that's 15 seconds. Now that concludes the dynamic Davies test. Congratulations, you have officially completed the assessments, the static, transitional, and dynamic movement assessments. Now hopefully you did not forget to press record and you don't have to do them over again. I am excited to share with you the next step where together we'll review the faults common for movement, posture, or muscle imbalances. And I'll share with you the perfect program that will help to fix those imbalances and that you'll have access to should you choose below. So without further ado, check out the next video, review your faults, and let's begin your journey towards improving how you move, feel, perform in all things life, reducing pain, preventing injury, and optimizing your performance. I'll see you guys in the next session.